started here. Okay, here we go. Let's get started, you guys. I'm Dawn Thompson. For those of you who are newbies, welcome to the Truth Tribe. Remember that this is a place where you are all reminded how much I love you every single day, that you are perfect. There is nothing wrong with you at all, and that exactly where you are in this moment in time and space is exactly where you need to be. I want you to remember that if you're a newbie, there are no questions that haven't been asked or that shouldn't be asked, because everybody learns from you. So please ask them in the Q&A at the end. I'm grateful for your presence. Those of you who've been with me for years, welcome back. And I love seeing all of your beautiful faces. I cannot see you, by the way, but I can see that you're all attending in the lineup. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. We are going to get started. So a little bit of updates and info. There's been a little confusion on the app, and I totally get it. I expected it, but just an FYI, the I Deserve It app is up and live. And thank you to all of you who have registered already. It's super exciting, actually. There's so many cool tools in there, you guys. So it is up and live in the app stores. It is easy to access on my website if you don't know where to go get it, or you just type in the app store, I deserve it, and it will come up. You'll see me. Okay. The interesting part is it's a free download unless you want to be in the Truth Tribe or on the I Deserve It Center. I just want those of you in Facebook to know that I will be probably stopping these transmissions by next week. Remember, I said October would be the end of Facebook because I'm having glitches with the whole censoring and them hiding me, and it's just kind of a mess over there. So I just don't play. Okay. Long story short, you'll have to be in the Zoom to get these. I may kind of transmit this out to another platform, but we'll see. Okay. So whether you have the Truth Tribe or the All Access I Deserve It Center, both are memberships offering the Truth Tribe. So they both give you access to the Truth Tribe. It just matters which one you want. A ton of bells and whistles. I want the whole kit and caboodle, or I just want to be able to access the Truth Tribe. You don't need both. It's one or the other. But you can access it also, and just find me and I'll help you guys. But once you've registered, it'll give you free access to either of those memberships on my website as well in the app. So go to free entry and it'll help you get right back into my website and right back into the app, and you'll have free access. Cool? Okay. I'll give you more on that at the end of the call, but people have been asking. It's been a little bit kind of just some glitchy, but we're working through the glitches and it's doing amazing. And I'm grateful for all of you for actually just jumping right onto it. And I got so many compliments. It made me feel good, you guys. So I appreciate that. Y'all know how much pain it was, right? So here we go. As you all know, we begin with the meditation. I go into my meditative journaling. I get message from my guides. And the message was, unshackling is uncomfortable. They said, we are helping you raise your frequency, and now you are free to manifest. What do you want us to know? That's like really what they were sharing with me. And what part of your life do you want freedom? And I was like, well, let me tell you right now, for me, as I share with all of you, I'm talking to spirit all day long, all the time, ongoing, right? And so it's what I've learned is this is a manifesting skill of learning how to have conversations with source and spirit and angels and your guides. Okay. But you don't need practice. You don't need to learn a skill. You just need to say, hey, you, if that's what you want. They don't care. They just want us to get clarity and be clear about who we are and what we want, which was fascinating that came down, because they're literally showering light down on us, asking us for, opening up our hearts. A cracked heart is an open heart, that kind of stuff that we've been talking about. So when I read and I saw the words unshackling is uncomfortable, it was interesting because it made me look at what's happening right now on the planet, right? So I want you guys to write this question down. If you have notes of paper in front of you, write down, where are you resisting pain? That's what I want you to write. Where are you resisting pain? And then write body, mind, spirit, or 3 T's, TTT, okay? Body, mind, spirit. So is the pain that you're resisting in your life right now, body pain or things, anything you can touch, that's the things pain, okay? So is it in your body or money or anything you can touch 3D? Or your thoughts and beliefs in pain, like, oh, if I think this way, goes against that way, and everything in your mind is just constantly in turmoil? Or is your faith crashing and you're unsure what to trust? Okay, that's body, mind, spirit, and or in my version that makes it easier, things you can touch, body, money, houses, cars, people, thoughts, your thoughts, or your truth. Okay, so what T are you neglecting today? Or maybe, guys, maybe it's been your whole life. Okay, so that's what's coming up, and I'm going to keep weaving this through with that question. What T, one of those T's, things, thoughts, and truth, those are the 3 T's. What T are you neglecting today and or have you all your life? I have been where so many of you are right now, and it's been coming up in conversation. So I thought, okay, this is fascinating where my guides talk through me and ask us this. Unshackling can get uncomfortable. And I was like, it's so true. And I've been where a lot of people are right now in the past, right? Anxiety, pain, despair, many times. Many of you know I was in a lot of pain just 12 months ago, right? And it came in waves of like peace, then pain, then chaos, then crickets, as we've talked about. So the things that were constantly coming and going, the thing that I have to remind all of you on to get into your unshackling is uncomfortable. Now you have to go somewhere else, right? Is what pain am I avoiding? But then where are you going when you're unshackled from the pain? The thing that never wavered through those times of anxiety and pain and kind of despair was my truth. And I harp that on all of you a lot, and people are like, that's all she talks about. That is, because that's all that is on the planet right now, right? My knowing that the human body is organic, right? It's like a flower, you guys. And sometimes you experience a cycle of drought as the flower, and sometimes the rain is completely abundant, right? And the same thing applies to pain, physical pain, anxiety, sadness, despair, all those gamut of feelings and emotions and experiences, right? And so typically when they show up, it's a season to teach you resilience, not resistance. Anything that is uncomfortable or painful is teaching you resilience, not resistance. Don't resist it. We need to learn how strong we are in it, to awaken your power in solitude, not how to be angry because, oh my gosh, I'm miserable and uncomfortable right now, and they have a Gucci bag and I don't, and I'm not have enough money, and I don't have this, and I don't have that, what I don't have, right? That's the digital wizards I've talked about so much, not love consciousness, not courage consciousness, right? And those of you who are on the daily IDI text, okay, today's text was rejection is redirection. That's what this is. That's happening on the planet, on this, remember the collective? Remember I showed you guys my little nifty little planet, and the collective is all around it. That's all of us, right? And the frequency on the planet now is lifting up, and it's helping you see that you have power to raise your own frequency by redirecting rejection. So when you get rejected, examples would be, i.e., all over the news, getting fired. They fired me. This would be coming out of your mouth, right? They ignored me. They divorced me. They broke me. Awesome. You all know how I feel about this stuff. This is awesome because it's time to change your plans anyway. That's what they're telling me. They've unshackled us. The planets are telling us this, right? So it's time to change your plans, okay? And your light board, as I call it, my light board of directors, remember I have a light bright and I have this board of directors in source energy and quantum field. You can be your entire board of directors. It can be your angels. It can be your guardian angels. It can be your spirit guides. I don't care. They know what you personally are resisting. They are simply waiting for you personally to rewrite the plan so that they can assist you with your confirmation, because you're confirming it, not them. And we do this with prayer and intention and angels and guidance and asking, tell me what to do. And they're like, no, you tell me what to do. They want to help, right? So it's not for them, it's for you, so that you raise your spiritual trust. There's the other T, okay? Faith, integrity, and alignment to your truth. That's it. They will help you once you get on that new highway, the highway that you choose as your truth, okay? And I've taught you guys this many times, and I'll again, in the app, I will pop on a photo of the rowing your boat, right? And I taught you guys that your body's the boat and your thoughts are the oars, correct? So I've taught you this so many times, is it's now up to you to decide, are you going to choose to row the thoughts rowing to the Bahamas over the Niagara? Are you going to row into heaven, or are you going to row into hell? That's how basic it is. You're living in heaven or hell right now. You have to look at that energetically in the quantum field. We are all one. We are all connected. We are all part of this quantum field of the universe. Heaven or hell will be here or the quantum field in another dimension of time or space. It's all the same. So it's up to you to realize that source, higher consciousness, God, is inside of you, and you have the power to activate that power of healing and manifesting that Spirit is trying to teach us and saying, look, just decide bigger. That's what they're saying, right? So last week, I picked this up, not just because of me, but typically I'm like, is this just me? And I typically will weigh it with clients and events. And did it feel exhausting for many of you? Like, I was exhausted. And so I was like, right? It's super exhausted. And then I was like, well, I wonder if this is just coming from the planets, from the universe, from me. I've been trying to do some detoxing, right? So I was unclear, kind of foggy. I'm like, what to focus on for myself. And that's what I'm asking you guys right now. Like, what do you want? What do you focus on? Where's the pain? What is the thing that you're resisting? Right? And so much fatigue in the last week. Okay. So it was like, same thing. I didn't have energy to do anything but purge what I didn't want to join me for wherever I was going. And the wherever I was going part was like, where am I? What am I doing? What am I focusing on? It was just so much exhaustion, but I was like, no, I'm just going to get rid of what I don't want. Don't know quite where I'm going, but I don't want that to come with me. And so whenever I get super stagnant like that, or the energy of the planets are kind of holding us in a stagnation, and I'm not unwell, like I wasn't unwell, I was just stagnant, right? I asked my guides, okay, I need understanding, and this is where I'm trying to teach you. I just say to them, now I know their names and I've taught you all this. We'll learn this in the Spiritual Warrior course that I am going to bring it to you very soon. But the message I got was rewrite your destination. Very much like what my Sunday was, right? As unshackling and tell us what you want. So essentially what many of you thought you wanted for a long time is not the way you want it to look now. And that's what they're trying to tell you. What do you want to rewrite? Because what you thought you kept saying you wanted, now in this new earth where you can manifest anything, even something you've never had your whole life, and now you go, but I think I really want it that way. It's okay. And I had to do the same. And I was like, okay, well, where do I start? Where do I start? And I will totally do that. So we're in this new vibrational frequency where we're in immediate manifestation mode. The challenge is that most of us don't realize you're thinking old, poor thoughts that go with old, poor wants. And not all of them, but some of them, right? And so I'm going to talk about this later again, when I talk about the planetary update, but the 6 planets were retrograde for several months, guys. And so 6 planets are each unshackling. So here, imagine like this is they're hooked to a rock, and they've all been like slowly pulling and trying, but they've been getting pulled backwards. In retrograde means they're getting pulled backward. They're trying to move, and then all of a sudden they're pulling backwards, right? So in essence, they were getting pulled backwards energy as well. And each planet is starting to get released. And with each release, the reversal of that energy is making you feel like, okay, now what? Like I was working really hard and now I got stopped. And you're in stagnation mode, or I should say this like stable moment, right? Like, what do I do? And that's what the pause was for. That's what the pause has been for. That's what all these retrograde energies have been for. Do you know what retrograde means? Do you need to know? No, it means pulling energy back, reversing. Is it really going backwards? No, but it feels that way. And so basically we've been giving this time of retrograde energy to purge and rewrite the end game, your end game. And I rarely look at the planetary transits unless I'm with a client and they're asking for it, like what's happening in the sky, right? Or until Sunday when I want to update all of you guys to avoid, I don't like to let people off the hook with the planets, nor do I for myself, right? So I don't want them to be my excuse for avoiding feeling something that I want to avoid. And I'm no different than any of you guys, right? So y'all know I don't believe like the planets are a cause and effect of experience, but an energy pattern that we can ride that highway or not, right? Ride a retrograde that's, you know, breaking your computer. And like I told you, this retrograde, it took my computer down, it took my, you know, some of my health down, it took my exhaustion down. I'm like, everything was just like in molasses, maybe quicksand, right? And so my point is that we have to start looking at it with that understanding that if there's something you're trying to avoid, they're not a cause and effect. They're not because they're doing this, they're affecting you this way. It's more like, do you want to join that pattern or do you want to rewrite it so when the pattern's over, you're prepped? Kind of like that. So last week was like, you know, let's move. So last week was Pluto, right? And Pluto went out of retrograde, the transformation planet, right? And so we were like, oh, well, now what do I want? You know, now yesterday, Sunday, okay, Saturn said, okay, you can go out of jail, go join the masses. And then we were like, wait, what, right? And then it just kept going. And so it's like we've been in this imagined prison for so long, and it's been like a bit surreal, like you're all being pranked, right? Like, is it really okay to walk out the door and choose what I want and do what I want and be who I want? Energetically, this is the highway that just opened. Okay. You are now in the stage of rewriting your car, rewriting your destination, rewriting your travel companions, rewriting your speed, rewriting your attitude and how you choose to travel, all of it. And so this sudden change from hundreds of years, it's been hundreds of, I'm not saying that retrogrades have been, but the mindset's been that way, right? So this sudden change is like, it's not trying to hurt anybody, but it's unknown territory since many of you guys have never asked yourselves, or maybe some of you have never even imagined doing what you want instead of waiting for the external to tell you what to want. Right? So the external has told you what to want for so long that now I'm telling you, you can actually just manifest it, think it up, choose it, and stay very diligent on that thought. And it's going to come to you. That's the new vibration. That's the new frequency. And this is why I'm so repetitive and unwavering about all of you living your truth and being a little bit selfish right now with what that truth is. Remember, your truth is totally different than what someone else's inner heart of their truth. Okay. So now it's saying, look, now I know, again, remember guys, I am not telling you to go out and force someone else to live your truth. That is not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, just decide what your truth is, who you are, what resonates with your alignment and your world, your reality, and then deep dive into it and how you can accomplish it. Okay, what does that look like? So what does that look like diving deep? Stop focusing on what you don't want. Because we've been doing that for how many years? 100+ years. We've just experienced several years of exactly that, watching it on visual TV on your digital wizardry, right? You know who the digital wizards are, the wizards who telling you something that's not true the next time you find out later. And you're like, but they told me and now it's not true, but they told me. So quit looking at that. That's where you learned it, right? So how's that working for you? right? It's only sending sonar every time you say, but I don't want that, but I don't want that, pinging out energy waves of I don't want back to you of the same unwanted crap that you described to everyone that you dislike. It's sending it out, bringing it back, sending it out, bringing it back. And then you're upset when you dislike it. So Spirit's been telling me, look, we've unshackled you, rewrite the game. So rewriting your future is to give the universe clarity on what you want in return. Okay, so discussing or even fighting dislikes of things you dislike off is different than seeing things that don't match your truth and your frequency, right? Or your alignment. And then you said, okay, I rewrote this end game. This is how I want it to look. So if you see things that don't match, that's different. Then it's like, okay, it's easy to redirect your path each time. That's like you're on that new aligned highway. Accidentally, you take a detour off of your desires, and you're like, oh, no, I don't want that. You can get back on the highway of your end game of no, this will get us back. No, this will get us back. We know what to do. All right. And so knowing what your inner truth is going to dissolve any external chaos, you guys, or control or illusion of imprisonment that does not match this truth. Okay. So what do you want is the new paradigm shift. I ask people all the time, write down if you got paper with you. What do I want? I ask this question of every new client, every new group I work with. What do you want? And I've told you guys this, the telltale answer is, I don't know. And you all know it's a total BS answer. It's a total cop-out answer. You know what you want. We all know. You just don't want to tell anybody because you don't want them to not like you. The easiest way to help you get clarity, right, is giving yourself a clean slate with minimal stimulation and then saying, what do I want? What would I do right now if I could? It's funny, my mom and I are having this conversation today. We're talking about karma and purpose and all that. And I was like, if I could do it my way, this is what I would want. And I got so much clarity just saying it, right? So for me, it's silence, disconnecting from any external stimulation and making space for what I know I want to fit. Like, what do I want to fit into this space if I was here? What would I want to come to me? So I want you to think about this, the physical space, your mental space, and your spiritual space. How do you take those and make them into fasting, right? Physical fasting, that's easy. You've all heard of it. And if you haven't, it's just cutting back any food intake so the body has time to reset and rebuild and repair. Okay. Mental detoxing. Y'all know what that is changing your thoughts. Do I need to detox some crappy thinking? Because we have a lot of crappy thinking from the digital wizardry for so many years, programming us. Okay. Spiritual fasting. Am I afraid to talk to spirit and angels and guides and universe and quantum and all the realms of helpers that are helping us coming down onto this planet, the galactic center, the galactic council? All of these energies want to help. And they keep saying, we will help, but you won't let us. And so physical, mental, and spiritual fasting delivers 10 times the healing ability than anything else. Fasting, right? Detoxing is the key right now. And it is a powerful igniter of your light. Okay, so I was talking to a friend this weekend. My husband and I, we were explaining to her that we do a lot of fasting just for the body to give it time to kind of regenerate. And we do it often, right? And it's just something we're used to and we're natural. It's easy to do. And she was shocked. And she was like, well, I'm not sure if I can go without food for that long. And the answer is she can and she should. All of us can and should, right? And the vibration of the frequency, I'm not kidding you guys, you're getting lighter. A lot of you are probably like less hungry or finding you have different cravings or you're craving water foods, right? Like lettuce and fruit and vegetables and things that are lighter, which is less hunger, less desire for things maybe that used to be something I am a huge carnivore. I am a typically keto dieter, food eating. It's best for my body, yet there are times when I'm just not craving it as much as I used to. Doesn't make it bad. I still get it, but I'm just explaining to you, we have to lighten up everything, right? And so we have to start changing. That's a belief system. I can't go without food. That's a belief system. That's not true. You could all go for 30 days on water and be just fine. Okay. But we have been in this instant gratification system for so long. We don't detach to give our body, we give our mind, and to give our spirit time to use its divine power to reset the power codes that are inside your DNA. Okay. Your DNA knows what to do. Is this the DNA inside your system, the DNA inside your brain? Is literally a chemical factory in this body. It knows what to do to heal you. Okay. So whatever you avoid, it's going to visit you and revisit you and revisit you until you rewrite it physically, mentally, or spiritually. Okay. Radical truth right now is basically living in the new frequency of integrity, of integrity, which is doing and being and saying who you say you are is what you are. Not hiding it and just using words and overriding it. Truth talk is the start, guys, of addressing anxiety and depression. Okay. Anxiety and depression are above apathy and sadness. So if we're in anxiety and we're having that all the time, we then are avoiding admitting where we're apathetic or sad, which is simply a frequency that we need to be in, apathetic or sad, in order to avoid lower frequencies on the consciousness scale. As you all know, again, it's in the app. There's an app, right? It's in the toolbox of the app, the frequency scale. When you go down below guilt and shame, right? We have to understand that those are down below the surface of apathy and sadness, which is below the surface of anxiety and depression. So sticking there, we're avoiding, what do I feel guilty and ashamed for? Wanting to live my truth and be aligned with my soul. That's what's happening. And it irritates the crap out of me because you're all amazing and beautiful and perfect and just live your truth. And that's where we're going. I know I get all excited about this because it just is so beautiful. And it's hard for you to see because you don't know how to do it. Okay. And so all the frequencies below the courage, right? You all know that the consciousness scale, it's on the web or on the I Deserve It app. So just open it up and then it's right there in the tools. Okay. All frequencies below courage, which is 200, have been treated up to this point in time, typically with numbing medications to stop the reason you all came to this earth, which is to feel all those emotions, high to low, right? And my point is, if we came here to feel things, not forever, but to feel it so we can understand and learn in this class called life and earth, right? It's not to be off the world, right? Off world celestial beings that we were talking about, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, right? They don't feel those things, right? They don't have bodies. They're simply frequencies of energy, right? So their frequencies of energy aren't feeling the things you're feeling. They can't take meds to change that. They just know truth, the truth you choose. So clearly, antidepressants and alcohol and meds and all the things that people use to numb themselves aren't working. Okay, they are the Band-Aid, not the solution. And when you avoid, or maybe you just aren't allowed up to this point is what I'm sharing, to talk and live in your truth, you're going to have some level of anxiety because anything out of alignment for you is draining. It's going to suck the life out of you. It's going to feel shitty and sad and apathetic and draining and feeling like you need something else because it doesn't feel good. No shit, of course. I would expect nothing less of that. We shouldn't expect anything less of that, of trying to numb ourselves for things that we came to be, which is a human being here, a soul being in a human body that feels things. You can pinch yourself and you can feel it. Okay. So it's time to stop talking. If you're going to take control of this, people ask me, how do you have a better relationship, Dawn? You don't negotiate and you have to work your ass off to go get a better relationship. It just doesn't show up. I think I'd like my my beautiful soulmate. No, you don't get soulmates. You get someone who wants to work on having an amazing relationship. How do you get an amazing body? You have to work on the things that are in pain. How do you get an amazing mindset? You have to work on it all the time. Not painful work, but put energy in, not pull it out or block it from coming in at all. So it's time to stop talking about what you do not want, which is all we've been doing, which is why I'm bringing this up. We talk about, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, right? We have to start talking about what we do want, okay? Instead, I want you to start hearing yourselves. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be poked. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be in a dead-end career. I don't want to be uneducated. I don't want to be belittled anymore. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be depressed. Those are the ongoing, right? Okay. What do you want? And then give it so much investment that there's no option for turning back. Okay, because the planets even have your back right now. Yes, is it going to be scary if you are walking out of hell and choosing heaven for the first time in your life? Yes, it's going to be scary. I know people are like, I would never think that was scary. You will, because that's what you know. But what's the alternative? To stay there? I don't want any of you there. You're all too amazing. Okay? So you will be manifesting into the 3 T's. What are you going to manifest? Where's the weak spot for you? Thoughts and truth are not weak for me. My husband and I were laughing at him. He's like, you're a horrible liar. And I am really. I just am terrible. Nor do I want to be, but I try to like fib and he just makes fun of me. But things, right? So you're going to be manifesting from these 3 T's. What things are you trying to manifest? Physically, in some way, thoughts or truth. So from now on, what things physical will you detox or clear out? Because remember, we're in the retrogrades, and I'm going to go through all of them in a minute here. So what things will you detox to make space for new things? Okay, what are you going to get rid of physically? What things? What thoughts will you detox to make space for a new end game? What's the new end game do you want to think about? I mean, go big, you guys. What truth will you allow space for to see it grow inside of you? That's my truth. I don't have to know how to do it. I don't have to know when. I just need to know what. Okay. Which of these 3 T's will light up your lighthouse? If you have more energy and heal your physical body, and then you're more powerful, you're like, oh, now I'm powerful, right? What lights you up? Because it can be super simple. Just ask your soul, ask yourself at the beginning, what do I want? Okay. You guys are here to thrive, not to survive. Hear me. Hear the guides, hear spirit, hear source. You are here to thrive and expand, not just get along, surviving, barely making it every day. You are here to be present in peace and not to be controlled in some illusion of peace. Okay, your life is a reflection of what you are, not what you want. So if you say, I really want this done, but I don't want to change, that's what you're going to stick in. So I want you all to hear, I deserve it is going to reveal what you are or are not being. So here are the 2 tips to check yourself. Write them down, okay? Write down, I deserve. So write the words, I deserve, and then write a little blank next to it. Fill in the blank. I deserve, and like put something in there that you deserve. I deserve the love of my life. I deserve a healthy body. I deserve a new career. Whatever it is. Again, it could be random for all of you, and I know it will be. Okay. Now I want you to answer it. Do I have, write that thing down that you just filled in the blank. Do I have that? Okay. Then I want you to move back to your truth and simply choose the alternative that you deserve instead, and keep seeing it in the things you have to do to get that thing you deserve, to the thoughts you have to get that thing you deserve, to the truth you have to live to get the thing you deserve. Now you think, oh, I'll never get that $1 million. Not right this second, in this moment, maybe not. But the fact is that manifesting, as they told us at the beginning of this call with my guides, is happening so fast, but they want you to make sure you're very clear about it, of what. It is. So what things, what thoughts, what truth are you going to live through? Changing, rewriting. 3 T's. Check them on yourself every day. Am I engaging in all of them? And it's going to be typically one of them that's weaker for all of you. Okay, I'm trying to clean this up and not make it so much. I know the charts and all that stuff come into play, but it's just the easiest way. Some people, it's the things in their life. Some people, it's the thoughts in their life. And some people, it's faith, right? They have to really work on that. Okay, quick planetary update. Then I'm going to see if anyone wants to jump on live with me. We're going to do a quick Q&A. And then again, you guys can ask whatever you want. So planetary update, you guys, this is insane. Okay, you guys, Pluto on the 6th, a few days ago, last week, Pluto went out of retrograde. It's been there for months. Pluto is a planet of death and regeneration, of change, of transformation. It's the Phoenix. I've been talking about the Phoenix for so long. It just went back into forward motion. It was in station and it's moving forward again. So it was one of those that was getting pulled back, and snap, it went forward. Then Saturn yesterday, you all were saying something. One of my clients today was texting me like, is something wrong? I'm like, yeah, Saturn got released yesterday. And it was this whole, this is how holding me back. Shouldn't I, questioning, we were questioning everything, right? Snap, it went forward today. So yesterday you felt it when it got released. Jupiter on the 17th is going out of retrograde. So we're on the 11th. In 6 days, you're already feeling it. It's not like it's just a one-day thing. You're feeling the slow. It was going backwards, so it has to slow in its backward motion till it gets to station stop. And then it moves forward again. So on the 17th, Jupiter moves forward. Then Mercury retrograde, which you guys all love so much, right? You all love Mercury retrograde. I love Mercury retrograde. It's just a slow pause button, right? On the 18th. So you're feeling the next 7-8 days of the last pulls, and each one of them, as they break, you're starting to kind of go, whoa, what do I do? You're right. You feel it. And then Neptune and Uranus were the other of the 6 planets. Neptune and Uranus are going to be there for several more months. But as you can see, with 6 planets being pulled backwards for a review and rewrite opportunity is no small thing. They are being so intense and asking you to do this, okay? And so while many of you guys are feeling that anxiety, the despair, the disappointment I was bringing up earlier, this is why many of you are feeling that you just woke up to this and was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Now, there are a lot of us who've been doing this work for years, right? So you're feeling the freedom, like, okay, for real? Like I can really go do this? Like for me, I can really speak the truth about all this stuff, how I have felt for the last 30 years. Yep, and I'm doing it, okay? So you're feeling freedom and release from old paradigms. We're all being released. We're just being released at a different speed. But the manifestation of how your clarity comes has to be clear. And this is why 6 planets have been doing this for review. The new highways are now getting lit up. What highway are you going to go on? Right? And so Saturn, which was yesterday, it's a big one. Because Saturn, I call it the sheriff. It holds you in jail till you learn the lesson, and Saturn goes where Saturn knows, right? So it governs karma. So it wants you to take time out to learn on the lessons of these retrogrades and reflect on your discipline, your authenticity, your truthfulness, right? And consistency. So self-mastery is the highest expression of Saturn. Can you master what Saturn wants you to learn or experience? What class it had you take, okay? So by the end of the month, guys, things that were stalled are going to start gaining motion and momentum and start moving, and clarity gets amplified. So the more you keep writing it for the next couple of weeks of the last of these transits of retrograde energy, all that pain and rejection lessons are getting redirected. They're redirecting you to the new rewritten end game that you just were asked to write. What's your new end game? Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so tonight's tips. Remember to use the next few weeks of these retrogrades to determine what you want. I mean, rewrite the game, rewrite everything you thought you wanted, rewrite it again. and rewrite it to a point of like unicorn land. Like, kind of sounds odd if I would really want that, but I really want that. Write it down, okay? Appreciate the pause buttons, that they have been there for a reason. What do you deserve that you don't have? You've been working hard on this for the last 2 years with me. You guys have worked so hard. Now it's time. It's your turn. Number 2, rewrite your end game. Write that down. Rewrite my end game. What's the end look like? Rewrite your ending. What do you want that you didn't want before? Check the 3 T's. Remember, it's the things in your life, the thoughts in your life, and the truth in your life. What do they look like with your new ending? Everybody right here. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. Remember, this is your thymus. It ignites your entire immune system, ignites your nervous system just by tapping those higher vibrational frequencies. Those words hold high frequency energy. Okay. I am courage. I am love. If nothing you do, you hear nothing I say, and that's all you learn from me, that will continue to tap you into a higher frequency. Okay. All right, let's game on. Let's ask some questions. Okay, so let's go into Q&A. Let's open up the Q&A. I want you to comment in the chat what paradigms that you all see that are in need of rewriting. Is it the things? Is it the thoughts? Is it the truth in your world? I'm also going to open up to anyone who wants to raise their hand that are joining me, by the way. And if anybody is open, I would love to bring you on. I had someone earlier. So are you still here? Lindsay, would you be open if I bring you on? Is anybody here else want to hop in for a live Q&A? I'm going to bring you on the screen just so you know. So I had at least asked her when she was asking me some questions. So, oh, she's driving. It's up to you. If you're driving, then I probably should not be having you on here. She's talking. But anyone else, if not, you're totally welcome to ask Lindsay, or even just I can talk, but not video. Let's just ask her a question. We'll go ahead and bring Lindsay on, and then we'll see what she comes. And then those of you in the chat window, I want you to keep asking, filling in those questions. Okay. So let's see where we're at here on Q&A. All right, so this is Miss Lindsay. I'm going to allow her to talk. So you,
Hi.
You're unmuted. Hi, Lindsay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Let's see. What can I answer? How are we doing? Like, what's coming up for you with the Q&A that just went through? What did you get?
Well, something that's been coming up for me is like I've manifested something that then I found myself in the last days starting to like find ways that it can't be this good or this easy.
Oh, there it is.
And falling back into the movie, honestly, instead of outside of the movie. And so that, but today I had an interaction regarding it's about a work situation.
Okay.
And in the conversation with the woman, I realized I had total control to direct how that interaction was going to go and how she was going to view me and how that could play out. I just saw how I could redirect that, where I had been giving my power away to let all these other people direct me in this situation. And so I guess that sort of was empowering for me to think about, okay, how do I get not sucked in, but I'm still a player, but I'm not being directed by the other people. I'm directing my own. I don't know if that makes sense.
So awesome. Like, oh my God. So you guys listen to what she just said. So this is actually what's just coming up, which is the discussion, the planet, the call. So Lindsay, what happened is that, so I've worked with Lindsay quite a bit one-on-one. And so we've done a lot of work on truth, right? What is her truth? And her truth is different than all of your truth. So there's no right or wrong. Remember that. But her truth, which is really cool, is starting to get very centered and very literally like ingrained into your wiring, Lindsay. Right. And so there's a part of you like, I know who I am. I know how when I get out of bed every day, I'm not my career. I'm not my job. I'm just know what my truth is to get out of bed and do what I do every day, which is that's true for me. So when she walks into an environment where someone might be trying to manipulate a truth or a situation or a thing, which would be a job or an environment or a conversation, Lindsay, you're not getting tripped up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're not getting tripped up because you're in truth. So it wouldn't matter what she says. You were like, okay, I know where she's going to go with this because you already knew where you were going to go with you. It wouldn't have mattered what she said. So you were prepped with, okay, wherever she goes, I'll stick in my truth. Did you stay in your truth or did you get pulled at all?
No, I totally stayed in my truth, which as you're saying that, I realized too, a lot of people have been trying to tell me how to navigate my situation and like, don't say this or say this, or you should like be worried about legal. And I actually have just said, I have nothing to worry about because I'm just speaking my truth. So everything's going to be fine.
Yes.
Like I have nothing, but it's been really empowering for me because I've never spoke about myself that way. And in my career also. And so I'm like, as I'm doing it, I'm like building my own power more in it, I guess. I don't know.
No, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing, because this is where I'm trying to explain to everyone on this call. This is exactly where I've been trying to get you guys to understand. Is this not some big grand, my big truth, and I'm going to walk out with my sword and change the world? It's never that. It's every single step you take, every conversation you walk into. It's a way of being, because when you're in your truth and you're just being you, you have nothing to worry about, no matter what chaos or storm or information they deliver to you. You're like, okay, well, that's great, but that's probably, I'll let you be you, but I'm going to move on my way because this is my way. This is my truth. And understanding that helps you get off what she just brought up. And I'm just going to say it. She brought up legal, right? She's in an environment and a career situation that is so critical about legal and trouble, and you're going to get in trouble, and they're scared and fearing and fear mongering. And she's just like, okay, because this is where spirit and the faith of who she is comes in, of her truth. That then shifts from, if I know my truth, then it shifts into, then I can live in my thoughts that would create a better truth. Well, my thoughts are, okay, well, I'll let them be them. I'm going to stay here. I know what I'm supposed to do and how I have to stay in this joyful, bringing abundance and joy into the world. That's all I'm going to do. And then her things fall into place, which are conversations and experiences and her job and how the people show up for her, not the other way. This was where I was talking about sonar. When you send out what you do want, her truth, how she wants to live, she gets that back. So she's empowered, not them, even though they're telling her something that may not match it.
I just wanted to tell you that,
okay,
that I've realized that I've had this story especially with a lot of people at work, that like, if I spoke my truth, they wouldn't understand or accept me and things like that.
Yep.
But when I let that go and just like have been speaking in my truth, I've been like pinging back exactly what I, just acceptance, or like, the tolerance and acceptance of it. There's like it's exactly, now that I'm being in my truth, I'm not getting back what it is what had held me back.
Yeah.
That was all in my head, I guess. So,
I love it.
But anyways, thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for everything. Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to unmute you again. Thanks, Lindsay. All right, guys. That was awesome. Do you guys get that? I hope that you guys understood what happened just there from her question in her Q&A. It was actually brilliant. Why? Because what happens is when we get into the space of who we are, and you know it, right? You know what that truth is and how to live it. And again, I taught you all this, whether you work one-on-one with me or you go onto my website. Some of you have access with the I Deserve It Center to go into the I Deserve It Academy and literally just define what your I Deserve It system is. What is your truth? How do you get out of bed every day and walk into the world? And it's going to be different for all of you. And for her, now that she has found that, it's very easy. And she's in a very technical, very, harsh industry right now. So the fact that she's so lighthearted and happy and so centered, it's just the most beautiful experience for me to watch. When you start finding that it's okay to just be you, everything else will fall around you, almost like you're walking around in the center of the eye of the storm at all times. Okay. Okay. That was awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay. Keep bringing in Q&A, guys. Any questions that come in, I'm happy to answer them. So here's one that's coming in. Let's see. It says, how do you do it all? Things, thoughts, and truth, and eat, and heal, and run a business, and heal karma, and find solitude, and on and on and on, and keep it together. Okay. This is actually really good. I think that it's not that I don't want to do so much. I think it's not that I don't want to, I think that it's not I don't want to do all that, it's that it's so much. Okay, I totally agree because you're living off of digital wizards, right? The digital, that's not just the wizards that are kind of probably giving you misinformation and non-truth, which is again, the Wizard of Oz TVs that we're all watching, or screens, or digital. But you got to remember also, you're following templates from people. I do this and this and this and this, the template, and follow the template. Well, that looks really beautiful on paper until you start to fit it into your own private world, right? And so we have to start letting ourselves be human again. And so I totally agree. When you start looking at what people on screen tell you they've accomplished, they didn't accomplish it all in one day. They've done this in days and weeks and months, right? I don't do it all, okay? I want to be clear about this because it does sound like that. I do a lot. I've done a lot, and I'm grateful for that, right? But I want to be clear that I address all the things in my world with those 3 T's, right? Exactly what they brought up. How do you deal with things and the thoughts and the truth and the spirit and your product and your business, which is a thing, and your body and your health and your sleeping, and it's a lot. Okay. And then you clean the house and you got to do your laundry. And it's so you go, wow, I address what is highest priority in pain at that moment of one of the things, of the thoughts, of the truth, of one of the T's. So for example, I'm still completing my healing, right? I feel so much better. I do, but I don't want to neglect going to that final completion, right? And so healing my system with a detox, right? Of a physical fasting detox, right? And then today I scheduled an IV infusion. And so if you don't know what IV infusions are, they're amazing. And they literally just pump you full of tons of beautiful vitamins. I did an ozone treatment. Do I do it daily? No. I save, or I prep, or I plan for it, but I schedule it. I make it part of my system, so I know it's part of the physical, the thing. Okay. So my solution is that they're not all, they are all important, but not all at the same time. No one is, the one that's calling your name today, that's the one you focus on today. Do that, right? But you have it in your plan, your game plan. There are weeks that I don't exercise at all. And I do need it. It's good for my energy burning, right? And so, because my body needs rest that week, I just rest, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore. I used to. So I don't beat myself up. I just address what area of rejection to allow redirection. So if something's pushing on me and I don't like it, I have to allow it to redirect me, one of those. And I feel superhuman today, by the way, right? I love these IV infusions, but I had to like let a little bit, we were talking about earlier, I was exhausted. So was she. We were all feeling this exhaustion energy. I was like, no, I'm going to go and like treat my system and help it get a little bit of a pick me up. And the ozone literally like brought me back to like superhuman. So it was pretty cool, right? So my point is that something that I want people to understand is, do not beat yourselves up over this whole, I have to do it all and I have to do it all in a day, because that's what they're showing me. Look how this person did it, and that person, look what they do, and they never sleep and they never eat, and it's hogwash. It's hogwash. It's not even real. Okay. And so, yes, we have to address one of the three. Sometimes you might be addressing two of the three at a time, but you won't be addressing all three at once. And if you are, that's time for a deep solitude, deep dive, and going, what have I let go? All of this rest of the world telling me how to live, and I'm not living in my truth. And I would start literally on your faith, right? On the truth aspect of truth. And that is where we come into our faith of who we are. Because most of the time for this last 100 years-ish, more like 50, okay? We've been focusing on things for so long. I need to get this thing. Let's just call it the $1 million or new shoes. You know, you guys know I love shoes, right? New shoes. And now what thoughts do I have to get to the new shoes? And then what is my truth? But that doesn't work that direction. But when you know your truth, as Lindsay had just shared, she knows what thoughts she has to have in order to stay in that truth. And the things just show up, the conversations, the people, the experiences, it all just shows up. She walks into them with that vibration and it just radiates. It has no different than shoes. It's no different for $1 million. It's no different than your career. It's no different than your health. I manifested this place off of a friend going, I wish I had a place that was close. And my girlfriend shows up and she's like, oh, there's one right around the corner. I'm like, what? It came to me. I did not go looking for it. No, I was looking for ones, but that's the one that just showed up around the corner. Just showed up. Was it an accident? No. Okay. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. Do not overwhelm yourself with like, oh my gosh, I got to fix everything today. You don't, but you have to have a plan. And that's what the guides are telling us, is they're asking us to get very crystal clear during these retrograde energies to go, okay, if you're tired or slow down and just let everything purge out, whether it's physical. Actually, I cleaned my garage this weekend. There was another thing. I purged the entire garage. I felt so good. Made space. I made space in one of those 3 T's. Okay. Okay. Any more? Keep going, guys. You guys are doing, these are great questions, by the way. I love it. All right. Let's see. Best way to learn. It's funny how you guys pick up things in these calls that I don't even hear myself say. I remember I said it now. The question is what is the best way to learn your light board of directors? You guys, I'll add a digital picture of this. I'll add the rowing your boat to remind you to row your boat. Remember, your body goes, the physical form, your thing will go where your mind rows. Your mind is the oars. So whatever you think about Bahamas is where the boat's going to go. Okay, I'll put that photo on. I also have a photo on creating your board of directors. It is in one of my manuals that goes with the training on one of my the videos in the I Deserve It Center training you can do. And in there, at the end of the manual, you set names for all the different spiritual board of directors that you want to guide you. And so you can go in and you name them. You can name them yourself. Just close your eyes and go, okay, who is my spirit guide for self-esteem? Close your eyes and a name will come to you, and write it down. Who is my spiritual, spirit guide for money? And then go in and close your eyes and ask your guides, what is your name? And they'll tell you, who is my spirit guide for? And I've got a whole board of directors, and they look like, when I go into meditation or close my eyes and I go into the higher dimensions, when I travel into the higher realm in my meditation, they literally look like a light bright. That's what they look like to me. Now, some of them they all have faces and energies, but typically it's just like a light, bright light, like all of them are around me. And then I kind of like pick out the ones I need to talk to at that moment in time. I know this sounds crazy, but this is where we're going. We're going to be able to have easier communication with the higher realms, other realms, because your vibration is lifting to a lighter realm, which means this is going to start validating all of you when you all are having these kind of telepathic thoughts you couldn't really put your finger on. It's like when you're like, you get a text from someone, you're like, whoa, I was just thinking about them. That's that. Your guides have the same communication with you as a human person that you were just thinking about. They sent the sonar out, you picked it up, you're like, huh, I was just thinking about Lindsay. And then all of a sudden I got a text. So she must have been thinking about me too. The vibration was, she was thinking about me. I picked it up and I thought back about her and we completed the loop. Well, the same thing goes with your spirit guides. You can create a whole board of directors. This is my light board of directors, or you can create two. Or you can just ask for two that your favorite guides are, right? And those are your guides that you came in with. Okay, next question. What is something we can do if we can't connect to our guides as easily as you? So this is why I'm going to share this. So if you're in, guys, you do need to be part of the, at least downloading the Truth Tribe or the I Deserve It Center, one or the other. They both have a toolbox inside of those pages. The whole I Deserve It app is free, but those two will ask you to register. Again, remember the IDI app or the Truth Tribe app is $2.99 a month. It's $2, $3 a month. But I will drop it in there. I will drop a picture in there that I want you to open up. You can save it to your photos. Just save it to your photos, print it. And I want you to literally name them. So this person's asking, how do I connect if I can't just close my eyes and ask, right? Yes, I've been doing this a long time, so I get that this is going to be uncomfortable or kind of difficult. So what I try to share with people is, instead of asking them until you get better at having a little bit more open-minded, this person is very cerebral. She's a doctor. She's very scientific. So it's hard for her to get out of linearity. I totally get it. So it's going to be harder for her, but she's doing it. And that's why I give her so much credit, because she's working on the truth one, that spiritual aspect of herself. She's very good at the things aspect of herself, but she's not as good. So this is where she's going to open up and say, all right, I don't have to reject that. I just want to redirect it. So I'm going to redirect her to this picture in the Truth Tribe. It'll be in your toolbox. Okay. And what I want you to do is print it, and then you're going to see self-esteem. You're going to see a wheel of topics, and I want you to just name them. All right, spirit guide, I'm going to name you Genevieve. You are my spirit guide to help me with self-esteem. And then I'm going to name the money guide. You're going to be named Joseph. And she's laughing at me right now. I love her very much. And it was a really brilliant question, because I expected it from her. And thank you, because I think a lot of people are asking that same question. And so her question was brilliant. And so I want you guys to understand, you don't have to do it any special way. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the call, you're all perfect. Exactly how you do it. There's no right or wrong. However you do it works. Okay. So you can either name your guides yourself, or you can ask them. Either way it works. It's all good. But ask them for help. Tell them, I'm going to name you all, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what my end game is, because you all are ready to manifest a big, badass, beautiful life. You all deserve it. You are all worth it. And it is all going that direction. So don't you dare let any digital wizardry tell you anything less. It is all a movie, a video, a screen. Okay, that's all you're getting there. This is your real life. Manifest it, create it, design it, rewrite it, you guys. This is what the planets, the universe, everyone's helping you with. Please do not give in, because you are all ready. Everybody on this call, get ready to manifest your new reality, because they're saying, we want to help. Just tell us how. Okay. Okay. We have pushed a couple minutes over. I loved seeing you guys all here. As you all heard at the beginning of the call, I Deserve It app is live and up. It's free to download, but if you want Truth Tribe, all these tools, when I drop them in there, you'll have to register minimally for that one. And all the tools that I keep dropping in and telling you about, all the pictures I've brought up in the past, they're all sitting in there waiting for you. So all you have to do is just open that toolbox and save it onto your phone, whatever, wherever you want to save it to, and you have access. Okay. So if you have questions or you need help, just feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to help. We're going to have a little bit of a transitionary period for some of you who already registered on the website. You will have to register on the app too, and I will unregister on the website so it transposes again and it overrides each other, okay? But just reach out, or I'll reach out to you because I can see you guys when you're signing up. It's super exciting for me. I have to tell you, I am super grateful. It's been an awesome journey. It's been an awesome ride with all of you. And now we're going to bigger and better things. And so, yes, you all have asked. I'm working on dates. So once I get some dates solidified on a online course for the Spiritual Warrior and a live course for Spiritual Warrior, as a few more other things, I might do another hotspot on your medicine wheel. Your zodiac wheel is your medicine wheel again. So I'm going to bring them back up again. I've been overloaded, but now I'm free. And I just got an IV. Can you tell? An ozone IV. This is what it does to you. It literally lights you up. So thank you guys all for joining me. I love you. Brightest blessings. And I will see you guys on Monday. Okay. Take care.